All right, joining me now on the Knightline podcast, number 9, JJ Worton. JJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just up in Alabama. I'm going to support Clayton, TP, and Speedy up at the Senior Bowl.
How's the knee going? You injured your knee in one of the games last year and couldn't play the last couple games, but we know that you're working hard to get that going. How's that going?
It's going real well. Like we made the decision to go up to Pensacola and do my surgery with Dr. Andrews in December, and then I moved back up to Pensacola a couple weeks back. I've been rehabbing with him and his team, so it's been good. I'm doing well. I'm up and moving around much better. Swelling's gone, so they're really excited about how far along I've come in so fast in such a short time.
How is that going to affect trying to get into the NFL this year?
I'm sure it took a pretty big hit towards my draft stock, but I mean, everyone I've talked to has said that I still am going to have a great opportunity. So I mean, whether I get drafted or not, I'm still going to go for it, and hopefully I'll get drafted and I can start right away with the team's doctors and see where I'm at. But I'll be back for pro day, and I'll be down there, and I'll do like the measurements and the interview process. But we'll see how far along I come in time to see if I can really do any of the running and activities that they do on pro day. So we'll see.
Now, did you totally tore your ACL? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I completely tore my ACL, and there was very minimal damage anywhere else, if any at all.
So take us through a little bit of that play where you got hurt. Did you know that it was serious right away?
I knew something was wrong when I made a cut. I felt like a buckle and felt like I dislocated my knee. It just everything kind of shifted around. But I had a similar injury the year before, and the doctors gave me the same news on the sideline in the locker room. So, and I was just a minor sprain last year. So that's what was kind of like my mindset. So when Jacoby made that interception, and I kind of grabbed my helmet and ran back on the field, I was able to go through the next 2 drives. And then after I scored my touchdown, and I had asked to put the brace on, I came to the sideline. They were already up by so much. The coach was going to take me out regardless to kind of save me because I was already hurt. So he didn't want me to further hurt myself because they also thought that I could play in the rest of the game, the remaining season. And then at halftime, coach took my helmet and said I was done for the game. And I got my MRI on Monday, and I found out on Tuesday.
Oh, that's a bummer. We definitely missed you. I actually was sitting at the bowl game in the same section you were, and I at one point had said, "Hey, JJ," so I'm sure a lot of people were bugging you and stuff down there. It was cool that you were able to be at the rest of the games and support, everybody. What did you think of the bowl game down there in St. Petersburg?
I mean, it was definitely different, being around the fans and watching the game from the stands. But you guys never bugged me, man. You guys all have shown so much support, and I really appreciate everything that's come my way, the high spirits and everything like that. So it really doesn't go unnoticed. I see it all, and I try to appreciate as much as I can. But yeah, it was definitely different watching from home on TV when they were at East Carolina, and then when we went to the bowl game, I made the decision to go up there, and I was with Joey Grant and his family in the stands, and I got to meet and talk with a lot of people. But the game itself was hard to watch because I knew I wanted to be out there and help as much as I could. But there was nothing I could do. So after the game, I just kind of talked to my teammates, trying to keep them all up. So I knew it was the seniors' last day, so try to make the most out of it.
Yeah, it definitely didn't turn out the way any of us wanted to, obviously, but I think everybody played, as hard as they could. Speaking of playing as hard as they could, I talk about you a lot on this show because you were definitely one of the people that go out there every single down and play with everything that you have, and I think that that's what made you such a great player and makes you such a great player. I'm not going to say made because you're still a great player and you will be a great player in the NFL, and I know that. What does it take to do that every time? I mean, what's your mindset when you step on the field? What goes through JJ's head?
I mean, it's got to start from when I was playing in high school. That I didn't want to come off the field because I knew I wanted to play college football. So I try and made the most out of every situation. So I played offense, I played defense, I played every special teams. I was the kicker, punter. I did punt return, kickoff return. So I was. If I could have held in high school, I would have held too, but nobody would have kicked it. But no, when I got to college, I knew I wanted to help in the punt return game and anywhere else in special teams that I could. So I knew I was a pretty decent holder. But I mean, I didn't have to be a holder. I just figured, why not? If I'm getting good at it, it's just something that can help me out in the NFL as well. But my competitiveness just wants me to always be on the field because I want to make an impact on the game as much as possible. So yeah, I guess just being around the athletes and the competitiveness that I was in Miami growing up just makes me always want to be on the field. And, not be in the spotlight, but be around it and contribute to whoever is in the spotlight and trying to help them. In high school, one of my receivers coach, Coach Hudson, he had a lot of great receivers come from South Bay. You had Kerry Reed, a bunch of other guys that have gone through and played in college and in the NFL, and all of his sons have played in the NFL. So when I heard from him telling that I have a great deal of talent and that he believes I can play in the NFL and have a great career in college, I kind of took it upon myself to not let him down because he was always there for me, and he always trusted me with being in the game and being the guy at the moment that everyone needed to make a big play. So he was always there for me, taught me all the basics and everything I know about the game today. And then I guess Coach Beck just came in and took over completely where Coach Hutt left off. And even when I first got to UCF, Coach Beck was a defensive backs coach, and Coach Kelly was here. And when we were doing one-on-ones in practice, Coach Beck would, if I'd run my route, Coach Beck would stop and just kind of pull me to the side and kind of give me tips and hints on how to attack the defender and what to do. So he was, even as a defensive back coach, he always kind of helped me out on the field and off the field. And then when he was one of our receiver coaches, I mean, between him and Coach Hutt are probably my two most influential coaches I've ever had, and I love them both.
What do you think about Coach Key getting the offensive coordinator job coming up this year?
I think we all kind of saw it coming. Towards this season, Coach Key went up into the box and started helping out with the play calls and stuff like that. So I think it's a great move for UCF. He's a great coach, and the players respect him as long as the rest of the staff. I feel like he's going to do a great job.
All righty. So what was your favorite moment as a Knight?
I've had this question before in an interview, and I got to say the same thing. I mean, a lot of people expect me to say the day that against Temple the catch, but that's definitely one of my most memorable. But I think my favorite moment was when the clock hit 0 in the Fiesta Bowl, because it was such an emotional season leading up to it, and the way that it ended, and everyone counted us out against Baylor. Just the feeling of winning that game against all odds, it's just something that can't be matched. That
year will always go down, and of course, I wasn't going to mention the catch, but because I know that everybody's asked you about that. So, all right, so I'm going to do it. I guess I will ask you. So, what was it like? What was the feeling? Were you surprised when you caught that ball against Temple on the tips of your fingers?
I mean, the play kind of broke down from the beginning. So, like, we were running our route, and as soon as I got to, like, my breaking point, I cut across the field. I saw Blake scrambling already. So I was the guy that was supposed to go take my route deeper if he did scramble. So I started running. I saw Blake make eye contact with me, and he went to go throw it, and then I realized he didn't. And I looked up, and there's a defensive back right there, so I had to go even higher to get behind him. And then luckily Blake was able to hold the ball long enough and get rid of it right in time before he got hit. And I just did my best to try and get under it, and luckily I got a hand on it, and somehow it stuck. And when I came up with it, it was just a rush of emotion, shock that it kind of was hard to believe until my teammates got over there to me. I know Storm Johnson was one of the first ones there. Josh Reese was one of the first ones there. It just kind of sunk in through the rest of the game. Like after the game, I mean, it was at the end of the game, but I mean, after the game, we were like flying back and stuff. And the TVs on the plane are kind of showing it, and it's kind of like hard to believe that, wow, it actually happened. But I mean, everyone I've talked to has been so amazed by it, and I just, to this day, it's still an amazing feeling.
Yeah, you talked as a kid and stuff, practicing catches like that in the backyard, and I guess it paid off, huh?
Yeah, just playing in the backyard and diving into the pool and catching stuff with one hand. My brothers and stuff, and I know me and Perriman, like warm-ups when we were our pat and goes, always doing kind of crazy one-handed catches and stuff like that. And so, I mean, it's just kind of stuff like that you kind of play around, but you don't really realize that stuff like that can happen in a game. And so, I mean, just a little practice that you kind of do for it may be what helps you out in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Perriman, signing day is coming up, and the Knights fans are a little worried about replacing you and Brashad and Josh and Rennell. What do you think is left there at the wide receiver position at UCF right now? Is there some guys that you think that'll really come on this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I know we're leaving behind Taylor Odom, And Trylko is the freshman that came in last year, who made a lot of heads turn on scout team and on one-on-ones when he was working out with us. So I mean, we definitely have a good group of receivers still back there. And even if you leave somebody that's never played receiver with Coach Beck, he's going to turn into something spectacular. So I know we all trust Taylor. He's made great contributions the past couple of years in practice and in one-on-ones and in camp. He's really shown up and grown a lot, and I think Trylko's going to be able to do the same.
I guess Pete DeNovo is also going to be a receiver, and in an article that was written just recently about him stepping over into the receiver position, I didn't know if you knew that, but he was compared in body size and shape to you. What's he going to be like as a receiver?
I know he's a tremendous athlete, and when he ran with the ball at the quarterback position, he was always fun to watch. So I mean, I don't know how his hands are, but if he can get his hands on the ball, I'm sure he's gonna be real good with it in the open field. If he can turn up and get north and south. But I mean, I know he's a good athlete, but I think he'll transition well, kind of like Jeff Godfrey did, and he's gonna be I think he'll be a big help this year.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a natural thing for a quarterback if they're athletic enough to be able to play that wide receiver position, because they already know the routes, they know where they're supposed to be. You know, it's just the amount of, I guess, doing it. So I think that's kind of cool that he's getting that opportunity. I felt bad for him, you know, at the middle of that Penn State game. But what was it like to go to Ireland and be able to experience that at the beginning of the season?
It was definitely something new for me. I'd only been out of the country once. I was on a cruise, so I don't think it really counts. But to go out and experience a brand new country and a different culture and be with my friends, and it was definitely an experience I'll never forget and that I'll treasure forever. I wish the outcome would have been a little different. We scored with a little bit too much time left on the clock, and there's definitely times when we wish we could go back and change something. But I mean, it is what it is. It was definitely a trip that I'll never forget and that I had a lot of fun on.
Well, I'm sure you'll get many more opportunities to do that kind of stuff after some years in the NFL for sure. Since recruiting, again, is almost over for the year coming up, there's a lot of talk about how the coaching staff at UCF is good at taking kids that are not 4 and 5 stars but ranked lower and making them great, productive players. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I know that I came in as a recruit with no stars and no offers, and Coach O'Leary took a chance with me. And I mean, I can speak for the rest of them that are out there that are getting unnoticed and under the radar. That it just puts a chip on our shoulder and makes us want to work even harder. So when an offers and all these scholarships are just being handed out to these guys because of a rating, it definitely makes us work a little bit harder. And makes us want to prove that we're just as good, if not better, than those guys. So I think that's something that we have as an advantage if you're going to take anything out of that type of scenario. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that Clayton came in as maybe a 1 or 2 star athlete. I don't think BA came in as a big recruit either. I think pretty sure you can play like D end in high school, and came in and switched over and played a tremendous role for us in the defensive back. There's a lot of guys out there that don't get the recognition that they deserve. As long as they keep grinding and they focus on what they want to get done, then somebody will find them. Yeah,
there's a lot of guys or a lot of people, a lot of fans that don't really understand the recruiting process. Also don't understand that just because someone maybe was under the radar and didn't have the 4 and 5, people complain all the time. I hear it that, UCF never gets any 4 or 5 star guys. But they can take guys like you that were under the radar and see something in them. Maybe it's the will and maybe it's the look in their eye. I don't know. But they can see that there's something there, and obviously they made a good choice with you, a great choice. All right, well, thank you so much, JJ. You are one of the greatest players in UCF history, and you will greatly be missed.
I was just going to say that through my career, I've made such great friends and so many great memories, and that I'm just glad that I could be a part of UCF and one of the greatest seasons it's ever had, and the past couple of seasons it's ever had. I know a lot of people say that I'm a great receiver and everything like that, but I can't take the credit for it unless I give credit to where it's due, where the offensive line and like Blake and making plays before we get the ball, and then also with our coaching staff giving us the opportunity to go out there and make big plays. And Coach O'Leary really is a great coach, along with the rest of the staff, and Coach Beck will always be in my heart forever.
Right on. Well, you will always be in our heart forever for sure. We will follow you. Hopefully, I was just thinking about this. Maybe you can get talking a little bit with Blake. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, need some receivers, and that would be pretty awesome. Maybe we can have another catch or the rest of the catches as well. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going back and playing with Blake. Me and him had something special, and I think if we got a chance to do it again, I feel like we'd pick up right where we left off.
Awesome, yeah, man. We gotta make that happen somehow. Talk to your agent or whoever. Make that happen. That would be absolutely awesome. All right.
Yeah, it would.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I greatly appreciate it, and everybody's gonna be following you, seeing what's gonna happen with the NFL thing. I know that you'll make us all proud and do a great job, and we wish you all the luck in the entire world.
All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll make sure to post some pictures and updates on Twitter and Instagram for everyone to kind of see how far along I'm coming, because I know a lot of people are interested. So I'll do that for the fans, because I love the fans. I know that they're all looking out for me.
All righty. Hey, and for the fans that don't know your Twitter handle, would you mind giving that out?
Yeah, it's JJ Worton. It's the underscore, and it's just 9. So JJ Worton _9.
Awesome. Thank you so much, JJ. We will hope to talk to you later.
All right, man. Have a good one.